Welcome back to PNC Park. It is time for baseball once again in Pittsburgh. Pirates making sure all the fans have the proper headgear as they come into PNC Park tonight to witness Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Pirates and the Central Division leading the St. Louis Cardinals. Hi again, everybody. Along with Steve Glass, I'm Tim Neverett. So happy you're watching Pirates baseball with us tonight. And a lot of smiles around the Pirates right now after sweeping the Cubs out of Pittsburgh.
Absolutely, with very, very good pitching. You face a team, and the Cubs are a good ball club. They didn't have a good series, but you give up 5 runs in 3 games, you're going to win most of them.
Cardinals were swept by the Phillies, and the last 3 days have been very different for these two teams.
Absolutely, but don't get the wrong idea. These pesky Cardinals are pretty decent. They lead the National League Central, and they had a rough time against a very good Phillies team, and the Pirates had a good series, but these St. Louis Cardinals, they can pitch and they can hit. They're a very, very solid baseball team.
Pirates had a lot of offense. Garrett Jones providing some of it.
Yeah, apologizing
to drive in runs.
Yeah. The apology on that little base hit, but no apologies here as he rips the ball down into the corner. And this is just a little preview or a little microcosm of what the Pirates did with the bats last night.
Well, they didn't exactly have a tough time with the Cubs in Game 3, winning 11-1. Could be a different story tonight as they're facing one of the best pitchers in baseball in Chris Carpenter.
One of the best pitchers in baseball, absolutely right. One of the best pitchers that the Pittsburgh Pirates have ever faced. Take a look at his record against the Bucks, 11-1. This guy has kind of reinvented himself a couple different times, but he is indeed one of the best in the National League, and we're going to have to basically outpitch him tonight.
He hasn't lost a game to the Central Division in 2 seasons. Zach Duke has had good success at PNC Park, and he's kept his ERA relatively low against the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's done very good work against the Cardinals in this ballpark. He's going to have to do it again. Now, the Cardinals are not on a run right now offensively, but Zach Duke is going to have to be on his game, turning that ball over against right-handed batters, especially this guy.
This guy gets dressed in a phone booth. He wears a cape. His name is Superman, and most pitchers have not found the kryptonite yet.
Absolutely. The approach against Albert Pujols, you've got to keep the ball down. Let him hit the ball as hard as he wants to. If you keep it down, you don't have any 450-foot ground balls.
Albert Pujols and the Cardinals getting set to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's another gorgeous night in Pittsburgh as fans make their way to PNC Park for this one.
FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by PNC. PNC, for the achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
Another gorgeous evening here at PNC Park on the North Shore of the Allegheny River. And there is the Pirate parent trying to put a hex on Albert Pujols. Maybe it'll work.
Not much else has against the big guy. He's going to have to be somewhat contained for the Pirates to do well in this series.
The Hastings Village and the Bucks hoping to win their 4th game in a row. Let's take a look at Tony La Russa's lineup against Zach Duke and the Pirates, brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward. Skip Schumacher, Ludwig, Pujols, and then Matt Holliday in the 4 spot. Has hit Zach Duke pretty well over the course of his career. Fleas, Molina, Rasmus, Carpenter hitting in the 8th spot, and Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, batting 9th.
Yeah, the theme of this game, you can peel everything else away. It's all about this guy. He has to pitch well. He has to basically outpitch Chris Carpenter. Take a look at the numbers. 6 starts, first 3 very, very good, and the next 3 not so good at all. So Zach Duke out there, he's got to keep the ball downstairs, and that's going to be the theme for him. That's got to be the theme for him.
Take a look at the guys playing behind Zach tonight. Village, McCutcheon, and Church in right field for the 2nd night in a row. Church starts there. Baroch, Cedeno, Ilmora, and Jones at first base as Jeff Clement continues to get some time off. Ryan Domet behind the plate, completing the Pirate battery. They could have asked for a nicer night to come sit at the ballpark. 78 degrees. A little cloudy later, but so far through the first 4 games of the homestand, the 3 with the Cubs and here tonight, it's been wonderful to come out here and watch baseball.
Yep. Good nights all the way around with the weather and the winds. Keep it going.
Skip Schumacher starts things off. He has been a pest to the Pirates, and he takes a strike.
You know, you take an overview of this whole thing, Tim. The Pirates swept the Cubs, and people say, well, the Cubs are not playing good. Wait till the Cardinals get here. It's going to be impossible. That's not the way you approach this if you're a Major League Baseball player. That ball fouled away. You've got to embrace these things. Okay, we got the Cardinals. They're the best we have in the division, one of the best in the National League right now. Let's see how we stack up. Let's see if we can outplay them. That's why you play the game. That's why you put the uniform on, strap it on, go against the best. If you beat them, you feel real good.
Calling the balls and strikes tonight behind the plate is Fielden Colbreth. And Marty Foster at first. Gary Cederstrom is at second. And behind third at Hickox. Strike 3 is Duke whiffs Skip Schumacher for the first out of the ball game.
The floater. Off-speed pitch had Skip way out in front. Pulls the string on him. Yep. When you see the batter let go of that bat and he finishes one hand many times, most times he's way out in front. Nicely done by Zach to get the proceedings underway.
Ryan Ludwig, the hitter, right fielder, 255 average. And a shift is on for him, and he hits it right through the shift. Aki Omura was on the shortstop side of second base, and Ludwig just dropped the bat head and hit it to the right side for a base hit.
Take a look at the alignment right there. Right-hand batter. Now, Zach Duke throws a lot of sinkers. Down and away, threw one there. And right-hand batters who are smart will take that sinker to right field. So sometimes you live by the shift. Sometimes you die by the shift.
And that right side wide open for Albert Pujols, but he doesn't usually go there. Pujols first at bat of the series.
And the thing about Albert, too, and we talk about trying to keep the ball down, so when he hits the ball hard, it's going to be on the ground. Well, we have seen him go downstairs and get the bat under the ball. He's just simply that good. But again, you've got to embrace the challenge. You want to find out if you're good enough to beat him on a given day.
Albert Pujols is 10th on the PNC Park home run list with 23. And he is one behind former Cardinal and Pirate shortstop Jack Wilson, who had 24. Wilson played considerably more games here than Pujols. And Albert takes a strike, 2-1.
Not particularly enamored with that call, but he'll settle in. Still ahead in the count.
Pujols can affect the way you game plan, can't he?
Mm-hmm. There's the Duke specialty right there, the sinker down and away, and Albert just looks at it. Again, with the luxury of being ahead in the count, doesn't feel pressured to take that particular pitch.
8 intentional walks. Cardinals lead baseball in intentional walks. Of course, Albert's got most of them. Well, the count full 3-2 with 1 out. 21 intentional walks for the Cardinals this year.
I would be amazed if Ludwig doesn't run here because Albert's that good a hitter. Zach is not known to be a big-time swing and a miss pitcher.
3-2 to El Maquina, the machine they call him.
Should do a Cuisinart commercial. La Machine.
Some cat and
remember
mouse.
those? That was they took over for the Vegematic.
I see. Did you have that too?
I do. I still do.
Payoff pitch. Hammered down the left field line. And that one goes foul. A laser beam, but it hooked.
And that man has an Albert Pujols baseball. He will call it an Albert Pujols baseball forever. He can turn everything around. I mean, he's just that good. To me, he's the best player in baseball. And he's aggressive and confident enough to take that outside pitch away from you.
Again, the 3-2 pulled foul. Well, he's one of those players, home or road, he's worth the price.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Bring your kids, bring your family out to watch the best we have to offer.
I think he got stung.
He doesn't care.
Needs an ice pack.
I was down at the ballpark. I got in a fight with Albert Pujols. You know, I got a sore hand, but you should see him.
That story will get augmented some by the end of the night. Ludwig short lead at first. 1 out. Here's the 3-2. It's pounded into the dirt and caught by Pujols.
That could have been ball 4, but again, he doesn't want to be called out. And went down and just got on top of a sinking fastball right there.
A big difference against left-handers and right-handers. Zach Duke hoping to gain an advantage here. He struck out Schumacher to start the inning. Ludwig a base hit.
I don't think many left-handers are comforted by that stat there.
Foul back.
Off-speed pitch. So, yeah, Zach trying everything he's got in his bag of tricks. That time he pulled the string, change up, off-speed pitch. And that's what happens when you face the good hitters. They will spoil your real good pitcher's pitches. You make your kind of pitch, you throw it what you want, when you want it, where you want it, and they foul it off. And you can only do that as a pitcher so many times.
Pujols with an 11-game hitting streak going. Again, pulls this one foul. And that'll go back out onto the field to play, and Lastings Millage will give a fan an assist.
Well, you want a battle on your hands? Zach Duke and Albert Pujols going toe-to-toe right here in the first inning.
This is the 11th pitch of the at-bat. And there'll be 12.
Another sinker, another good pitch fouled off. Zach Duke will get his share of ground balls on that particular kind of delivery.
Well, he wouldn't mind a ground ball right now, somewhere toward the middle or down to Andy LaRoche at third. Pirates squeezing the middle on Albert Pujols.
Well, these Cardinals probably not a real happy bunch, having been swept by the Phillies.
Here comes the 3-2. Right at Cedeno. Great diving stab. Oh, my goodness, what a play by Ronnie Cedeno.
And that's a great lesson for young pitchers. You keep throwing strikes, put the ball in play. Even if they hit it hard, it's got a chance to be right at somebody. And Ronnie with a nice reaction going over and making that play. Ball hit solid, and Albert knows that they took one away from him right there.
And see how hard that was hit, Steve. He barely got out of the batter's box.
Mm-hmm. Quite a battle. Zach Duke wins it.
That's a good win.
That's a feel-good out right there. It doesn't matter how hard it was hit.
Now another tough customer, and Matt Holliday signed a 7-year deal in the offseason with the Cardinals, which has raised some questions as to how they're going to sign Albert Pujols when the time comes.
You know, I got so enamored with that matchup between Duke and Pujols, I never saw if Ludwig ever took off on the 3-2 pitch or not. I don't think he did.
Even more playing behind second base for Holiday. And there's a chopper to Cedeno. He'll glove it and have no play. And the ball just rolled right up his arm.
I don't know how they'll rule it, but that should have been an error. And it is charged. I wonder if Ronnie got caught in between making a play at second base or going to first base. Yep, looked like he was going to second. Just a clank. And you do not want to give these Cardinals extra outs. You don't want to give anybody extra outs, but especially a good hitting team like the Cardinals. You just can't do it.
The Pirates have been doing a good job with the gloves recently, and that's the first error in quite some time.
To make that good a pitch, you got to get the out.
The Pirates had gone 5 straight games and 48 consecutive innings without making an error. They won a season-high 53 straight innings from April 11th through the 18th without making an error.
And this is the phenom, David Freese.
Freese watches that one outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I didn't see anything in his resume that would lead me to believe he is related to the former Pirates, Gene and George Freese.
Pretty good numbers.
Pretty good acquisition from the Padres for Jim Edmonds.
He's riding a 9-game hitting streak.
They got him after the 07 season from San Diego.
There's Mark McGwire. Made a lot of news in January when he accepted the job as hitting coach.
Glad to see him back here. You can say all you want about Mark McGwire. We have mistakes, maybe, all that kind of stuff. Okay. But I'm a fan of Mark McGwire's. Glad to see him back in the big leagues. I really am.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Just inside. Even count to Freese, 2-2.
Well, Zach Duke working hard to put a 0 up in the first inning. Working real hard. And by all accounts, should have a 0 already. And Pirates should be in the dugout.
Well, they like Freese in St. Louis because he's one of them.
Yep.
He's from St. Louis.
You know, he could be from Anchorage and they would like him with those numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. National League Player of the Week. Last week he hit .462 with 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. Full count, runners will be off. Ludwig at second base, Matt Holliday at first. And the payoff to Freese. Fouled away. He had 6 runs batted in against the Atlanta Braves on a game on the 29th. That 6 RBI total, the most by a Cardinal rookie since 1957.
I wonder who the last Cardinal, regardless of his Major League service time, had 6 RBIs.
6 in a game, yeah. 3-2. Ball 4. Bases full of Cardinals in the top of the first. And Duke has now thrown 25 pitches. Half of them went to Albert Pujols, not 1 at bat. Yadier Molina, the catcher, will come up. Ronnie Cedeno committing the error on the ground ball by Matt Holliday that would have ended the inning.
Yep. I thought at first he might have been looking at first base to decide whether he's going to go to second or first, but he had already made his mind up to go and step on second base if he got the ball. Never did get the ball.
Molina is 8 out of 26 in his career against Duke for a .308 average.
One more look at the Cedeno play. Chopped up toward the middle. Cheating a little bit before you get the baseball. That can just take your concentration away, maybe just take your eye off a little bit. Remember that old phrase when you're playing Little League? Keep your eye on the ball. And then do other things.
Strike in the corner, 0-2.
Great changeup by Zach.
Ludwig, the runner at third. Matt Holliday over at second base. And there is David Freese, recipient of the base on balls at first.
Love this pitch. Looked like a little off-speed pitch. Maybe a little movement with the changeup, just a little bit drifting out away from the right-hand batter. So you got the hard sinking fastball out there, and that one was a changeup. Just a little floater coming in there. Gets him out in front.
0-2 to the right side. That's through, and that means runs. Ludwig scores. Holliday around third. He'll score. And it is 2-0 Cardinals. That error comes back to bite Zach Duke here in the top of the first. And
Zach not thinking about that right now, thinking about that he had Molina 0-2.
Yadier Molina with RBIs 17 and 18.
Yep, does a good job protecting the plate and going after that outside pitch and just hitting it to the opposite field, not trying to pull it.
This will bring up center fielder Colby Rasmus. See the runs coming across. Holliday scoring second. Rasmus, a good rookie season last year. Earned himself a full-time spot early on in the year with the Cardinals.
You don't want to give up anything in the first inning against anybody, but especially the Cardinals, and especially when you're going to be looking down the barrel at Chris Carpenter. You can't give him much breathing room. You got to stop this right here, right now. Because good pitchers, good opposing pitchers don't care whether they're earned or unearned. Chris Carpenter's sitting there right now with at least 2 to work with in the top of the first.
There comes the 1-1. Now it's 1-2 to Rasmus.
And Zach's going to be throwing around 30 pitches in the first inning. Yep, there you are, currently.
Not how we wanted it to begin. So the Buccos have to hope the bats get going in the bottom of the inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colby Rasmus. Here's the pitch. To second base. Iwamura throws him out. 2 runs come in, 2 stranded, 1 big error. And after a half inning, it's 1-0 Cardinals. 2-0. Beg your pardon.
Right-hander Chris Carpenter, and he is a master craftsman, master carpenter. He has built himself an outstanding career. Dust settles on this season. He will put in 14 years of Major League service out of Exeter, New Hampshire, 6'6", 230. He has won 121 Major League games, and as we said, the numbers astounding against the Pirates, and astounding this year. 4-0, 2.84 ERA, start number 7.
Uemura takes ball 1. Everybody's going to lose sometime.
That's right. He will not go 33-0. He will not.
Uemura takes ball 2, 2-0. Last night, Randy Wolf came in. He was undefeated. Randy Wells, rather, for the Cubs. He was 3-0. He left 3-1. And that's a strike. So Aki hitting 194, struggling with the average. Got 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, 3 doubles to his credit. Trying to string together some hits. This will be taken by Schumacher. He throws him out. Both of those runs scored against Zach Duke unearned, and Ronnie Cedeno a little bit upset after watching the play that would have resulted in the final out of the inning. A Matt Holliday ground ball toward the middle, looked like a routine bouncer. As it came off the turf, it didn't stay as high as it was. It came down a little bit, but he appeared to be heading toward the base before he had the ball, and Holliday was safe, ended up scoring right behind Ludwig.
And Pirate batters better be ready. Chris Carpenter doesn't walk too many people. 6 starts so far. He's walked 13. And that's just business as usual for this right-hander.
And he works quickly.
Yep. Cy Young Award winner in 2005 when he went 21-5. And there's a lot to his story. We'll get into it as we go along. But mentioning that he has reinvented himself a couple times, that is the truth. He's given up 5 home runs. And first glance, okay, the Pirates have a chance with the long ball. In the first 6 starts, he's given up 5 home runs. 3 of them came in one game, 2 in another. So when it happens, yeah, it happens a good bit, but it doesn't happen a lot. Last year, I think he gave up 7 over the course of the season.
Were those spread out over 2 games, too?
Yeah, could have been. I wouldn't be surprised.
And LaRoche takes a strike, thought it was ball 4. Count full now, 3-2. Well, the payoff coming to Andy LaRoche. Toward the middle. And it is cut off by Brendan Ryan. 2 away. Take a look at the defense for the St. Louis Cardinals. Brought to you by Mercedes. Holliday, Rasmussen, Ludwig in the outfield. Freeze, Ryan on the left side. Schumacher, Pujols on the right side. And Yadier Molina behind the plate.
So you bring up the subject of home runs. Yeah, you might get some, you might not. There's a good chance you won't with the way he's throwing right now. What I'm going to look at when the Pirates do get base runners, and they will at some point. Swing and a miss. Will they run? Will they try to run on Chris Carpenter? Only because you don't really figure to put a whole bunch of hits together. So you might see some aggressive base running by the Pirates when they get the opportunity.
That one's high, 1-1. Our Barrel Automotive league leaders stat. First inning batting average. Ryan Braun first, Andre Ethier. And there's Andrew McCutchen, Garrett Jones, and Lastings Millage. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. But he has done terrific work in the first inning. And how about Andre Ethier hitting 4 home runs against the Pirates, and then last night hitting a walk-off grand slam against the Brewers. He had 4 walk-off home runs last year to lead baseball in that category, and he got his first one of 2010 last night.
Maybe somebody ought to put him on Ether.
Pretty good player. Here comes the 2-2. And McCutchen bangs this one down into the corner. That's going to be off the wall. He's speeding around first. Holliday guns it into second base. And there is Andrew McCutchen standing up with his 7th double of the season. And he raises his first inning batting average. 2-out double for McCutchen.
Would have been nice for Andrew to get under this one because he got it all. He's right on that ball, centered it, as they like to say, and give it a nice quick ride out to the wall down in the left rear corner, right off the 325 sign. Just lacking a little height from getting the Pirates on the board and keeping their string of good first inning work going. Still a chance.
Garrett Jones, in his first plate appearance last year against the Cardinals, hit a home run. Looking for another.
You see Carpenter starting him off with a slow curve. He's got the slow curve, the slider, the fastball, change. He won't dazzle you with the velocity. The speed is major league average, plenty adequate, but he complements it with those off-speed pitches and that pitching instinct, the thing that is hard to teach, that feel. Plenty adequate on that fastball at 92 miles an hour. Might as well get to it right now. 2 surgeries. Labrum, major surgery after in and around 2002. Came back, won the Cy Young, 2005. 07, Tommy John surgery. He has come back from 2 major issues with his arm.
1-2, hammered but foul. Well, and then last year he was second in voting for the Cy Young.
Yep, 17-4 after that Tommy John surgery. And this guy is simply that good. Simply that good.
2 outs. McCutchen is at second base. A ball and 2 strikes to Garrett Jones. He'll have another. Last night it was great with Garrett Jones wearing the microphone. We hope you were able to watch the telecast last night. We do it every so often, not real often, but every so often. We'll put a microphone on a player during the game. And Garrett was kind enough to do it last night and ended up having a good night and gave us some entertaining television. 2-2. Jones's night was so good, we asked him after the game if he'd do it again. He said, absolutely.
Talk about interesting from Garrett. How about interesting for Lastings?
And bounding ball to Schumacher. That'll end the inning. So the Pirates will leave 1 after the McCutchen double. We're through 1 inning. It is 2-0.
Check, double check. No fakes. Let's go, come on. Score first. You're up, you're up. Swing. Oh, babe. I thought he was ready to go. Allegheny. Oh, yeah. Get up. I got it. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Oh, boy.
It's one of the fun parts of baseball, and fun for us to be able to take you, the viewers, right down there on the field and give you a taste of what it's like. Chris Carpenter leads off against Zach Duke to start the second inning.
Yeah, it's good to see the players. They're just not baseball machines. There's personality. There's life other than that game face on these guys during the course of a ball game.
People might think they're just all business all the time, but Got to blow off some steam every once in a while.
Well, yeah, you got to understand these guys are human. That's one of the reasons that stuff is so good when you hear them during a game. And down in Florida too, spring training, you get close to them, you see that they're people, and the emotions are up, down, around, all over the place.
1-2 to Carpenter.
Well, one of the pioneers of pitchers hitting eighth, Tony La Russa, running the Cardinal team, and Mr. Carpenter's out there.
Now, this is the 11th time this season the Cardinals have batted the pitcher in the 8th spot. 19 times they've batted in the 9th spot. So Tony La Russa says it depends on the lineup. And I know last year what Tony was saying in the papers in St. Louis was that in the Pirates series he wanted to get Albert Pujols batting with more than 2 guys on in front of him. 1-2. And Carpenter is down on strikes, 1 away. But I believe in the first 10 at bats, my math is right, the first 10 at bats against the Pirates, when the pitcher batted 8th last year, I'm pretty certain that Albert came up 8 times out of 10 with nobody on base. So, you know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, yeah, you make that decision obviously before the game, so hopefully it works out. But Carpenter, you know, you can't take him for granted. He's tied career-wise with Bob Walk for career home runs.
And you too, right?
Yeah, we're all in that bunch still trying to break out of the tie.
Yeah, Carpenter's only home run came last October. It was a grand slam off Kip Wells in Cincinnati.
You didn't have to mention that, but it was a grand slam.
It was a grand slam. But think about when you hit your home run, when Bob hit his. It wasn't that late in your careers when you did it. I mean, Chris has been playing for a long time.
You know, the neat thing is when you as a pitcher, and we're never good hitters, you hit the ball over the fence, you go down the first baseline, the coach says, take a left. So, you know, usually peel off to the right. That's just such a good phrase to hear. Take a left.
So Brendan Ryan flies out to McCutchen, 2 away in the Cardinals' second. Skip Schumacher, the hitter.
Let's see if Zach can have a much, much more efficient second inning.
He takes a strike. He got Schumacher on strikes the first time around.
Nice slow breaking curveball.
And now ahead 0-2. Two down, nobody on, and Schumacher behind 0-2. A little roller to Aki Iwamura. Gonna have to hurry. And he got him. So a much better inning for Zach Duke. Only 12 pitches that time, and he gets the Cards in order. How about Ryan Doman? Twice last year. He's got a career .313 average against Carpenter. 5 hits in 16 at-bats. 2 solo homers in his career. Saw him in different seasons. And he starts out against Carpenter here. Pirates trailing 2-0.
Among other things for Chris Carpenter, and this is, it doesn't sound like much, but it is a weapon. He can throw his fastball 92. He can throw it 88. So, you know, just a little difference affects the timing of a batter. Looking for a fastball, looking for 92 might be just a little bit out in front. Just affects the quality of the swing. It can affect it. So you say fastball, curve, slider, changeup. You can say fastball, fastball, curve, slider, changeup. Adds a pitch for you.
1-2. It's pulled foul. Going out in front of that off-speed pitch.
Classic example of that used to be Juan Marichal. He would throw 5 different pitches, but he'd throw them from 5 different angles, up top, 3/4, and so on. So basically we used to say, well, Marichal's pitching today. Be alert for that 25 pitch package.
On the ground to Schumacher at second. 1 away. Going at 0 for 1. Ryan Church coming up.
And before he does, just wanted to say hello to Karen Burrows from Monetta, Virginia. Sent a nice note, said hello to all of us. She enjoys the Pirates radio broadcast down in Virginia on XM radio. I guess we're allowed to say that. We just did. But, she's
a little late, Steve.
Yeah, well, I know. But she's been a great Pirate fan. So
that's good.
Nice enough to send a nice note. Thank you. Thanks for keeping the faith.
Ryan Church facing Carpenter. And he'll take a strike. Church last night reached base in the 4th inning via the walk. He was 0 for 4, but he ended up scoring the only time he did reach. 1-1 to count now to Ryan. Didn't homer last night, but homered in each of the first 2 games against the Cubs, and both were instrumental in the outcome. One was a 2-run shot in game 1 that provided the necessary runs to win. In game 2, he hit one that provided necessary insurance on a 4-2 win. So 308 at PNC Park this year. And he goes down on strikes, and there are 2.
Tim Neverett.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's the good word? Come on, what is the good word tonight?
Well, the good word comes from Lasting's Millage, the left fielder who tried to provide some thrillage in the village last night. On his double that a number of people, including yours truly, thought was a home run. I was running hard, making sure that I had a double, and I looked up, and all the fireworks were going off. He takes a big hack at that one. And he had a lapse for a second. He said it was totally my fault, but what an exciting double. Clearly it didn't go out. It was a double, and I've got to go to the weight room in the morning. And he hits this one through the left side and starts with a base hit.
You know, last night, that situation, what a great night to be a color guy. That you don't have to say anything right away.
That's right. You had the opportunity to wait, but here it is. And Millage thought it was gone. Soriano's body English indicated it was gone. Looked over at the third base umpire. His finger was in the air. It looked like a home run, and fireworks went. Millage thought the sign from the umpire was going in a circular motion. So he took that left turn, as you said, Steve, and he kept on going. And then he took a left turn at second, and that's when they tagged him out.
We all were drawn along.
Another couple of inches, he would have had his grand slam, and he would have had 6 runs batted in. Instead, he had to settle for 4 RBIs. So Daniel chase it? No, he didn't.
I thought for a moment, when I looked at the replay, that it might have hit in some of the white lettering. You should take a look at this check swing. The Millage ball might have hit against that, and we just lost it maybe in the lettering. And I hope we don't have any replay, because that's my story.
And you're going to stick to it.
We are going to stick to it right down the road. Again, Chris Carpenter has been around, 13 Major League seasons now. He knows that he has the reputation and the performance to back it up, that if runners get on, they might have a tendency to try to run more because he is that effective. So He's keeping track of millage.
Tony La Russa keeping track of Carpenter.
That's part of your craft. You got to think about all aspects. I'm pitching that well. Well, if I'm pitching that well, they might try to run more. So this guy, I'm sure, has that in his mind.
Cedeno's been getting a number of hits recently. Most of them have been infield singles. And he hangs in there with that one. Foul ball. 2-2 the count. In fact, 5 of the last 9 at bats for Ronnie Cedeno have resulted in a base hit of some sort. He had the error in the first inning, and coming into that, he led the National League, led all National League shortstops in fielding percentage.
You know, we've got a headline out in Minnesota tonight.
Yes, we do.
They have postponed the game, the Minnesota-Baltimore game, and that would have never happened before. But they've got a ballpark that doesn't have a roof on it anymore.
First rain out in 30 years in Minnesota. 3-2, roll to the right side. Almost got Millage, but Schumacher gets Cedeno, and Carpenter out of the inning. No runs to hit, a man left. Through 2-0 Cards.
Boy, that play get me out of the jam.
It did, didn't it? You take a jam in the night, but you got a loss out of that game, didn't you, Steve?
That's all right. Got me out of a tough inning. I think Walkie took the loss, so
did he?
I was out of there.
He took the loss out of the pen.
After that.
Ryan Ludwig swings and pops this one up back of first. Well, you think of the unassisted triple play last year. Eric Brutman of the Phillies had one to end the game.
Yep. Mickey Morandini turned one against the Bucks. Against the Phillies. Local guy. Dirty trick to play on your hometown team.
Here's Albert Pujols. Now, those guys don't remember Glenn Wright.
No.
And Glenn Wright is not on that All-Star game ballot.
No, but keep that in mind.
Time to vote for some buckos.
This guy will get a few votes up at the plate.
You think?
Yep, not a right end. He won't be that last guy.
Nice hats, too. A hat giveaway tonight. The
1887 Pirate hat established.
2 strikes now on Pujols. He lined out sharply to Ronnie Cedeno in the first inning. Cedeno had to dive hard to his right to snatch that baseball and take a hit away from Pujols. Let's see where they play him. Maki Uemura on the shortstop side of second base. So 3 infielders on the left side. Jones has the right side all to himself, and the Parrot is locked and loaded. And strike 3. Duke cuts down Albert Pujols. He's 0 for 2.
That's why you embrace the opportunity. You got a chance to get the best of one of the best. It's a good feeling. Up and away. Albert chases. He's human. At times.
At times. Matt Holliday facing the same defensive alignment from the Pirates with 3 infielders on the left and 1 on the right. Right center field gap. And that's going to be extra bases for Holliday. He'll jog into second with a stand-up double. When Holliday was up there, it was almost as though he had that shoulder pointed to right field, as though he wanted to go that way.
It does a good job on a pretty good-looking pitch, actually, down and away. And he's strong enough so when he goes to the opposite field, it's just not a little punch and Judy shot. The ball gets out there in a hurry. A couple hops to the wall. Didn't take long to get there. 2 outs, an opportunity to leave him. Keep it at 2-0. Keep Carpenter as close as you can.
David Freese takes a strike. You look at Matt Holliday and say, yeah, that guy's big enough to be a football player. He was a heavily recruited quarterback out of high school in Oklahoma. By Freese, 87 on that pitch from Zach Duke.
One of the reasons he gets it by him, he started him out with the slow curve to get out in front 0-1, and then you come with a fastball. Maybe that lingering thought of the off-speed pitch still just in there a little bit. Fastball gets by.
Holliday, the runner at second, the 0-2. He got him. Strike 3. Zach Duke now with 4 strikeouts in the ballgame. Looking for individuals who make a difference in their community. 30 everyday All-Stars will be honored at the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. To nominate someone, even yourself, you can go to peopleallstars.com. Along with Steve Blass, Tim Neverett here at PNC Park, bottom of the third, 2-0 St. Louis, game 1 of 3 against the division-leading Cardinals. Zach Duke leading off. He's in the hole 0-2. Duke, a 143 average. has a double this year. It's 1 out of 7, and that one hit was the double. Hits the Cardinals well, though. Aki Uemura will follow, and then Andy LaRoche. Carpenter into the wind of the pitch. And he strikes out Zach Duke to start the Pirate third. That's the second strikeout for Carpenter. Some of the other games going on. Look on the Fox box. Cubs leading Cincinnati 3-0 in the third.
Chris Carpenter will get his share of strikeouts. He's gotten 10 twice in a game so far this year, and coming into this game, averaging a strikeout per inning. He'll get his share.
Well, of the outs that he's recorded so far, you mentioned the 2 strikeouts. The other 5 have been by ground ball. Nice play. And Uemura is safe.
They'll give him a base hit on that, I bet, because of degree of difficulty.
Yeah, they will. They'll give Aki a hit. He needs it. He's 1 for 2 now. And the Pirates have a base runner aboard. Well, Brendan Ryan really got to this ball.
And they do get him if the throw is on line, but he had to do a lot of things right. 2 out of 3 were okay, but the third one cost him the out. Got over there, got rid of it quickly, but not on line. And Meatloaf says 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but in this case it is.
You're taking advice from Meatloaf?
Absolutely.
I guess when it comes to 2 out of 3.
Baseball by the dashboard light.
LaRoche lifts this one to shallow left. Matt Holliday with a beat on it. 2 down. Aki gets back to first. Now Andrew McCutcheon, a double in the first inning.
Uemura has stolen a couple bases again. Just a thought. See if the Pirates do try to take off.
Andrew McCutcheon is the only player in the National League with double-digit RBI numbers and steals. 10 steals, 10 runs batted in.
Right now, I don't know if Aki is doing any setup work, but a very, very modest lead at first base. Carlos Garcia over. Aki lends an ear.
Strike 2. Rajay Davis of Oakland has 12 steals and 10 runs batted in. Scott Podsednik of Kansas City, 11 steals and 14 runs batted in, but they're in the American League.
Both parties might want to get that ball back. I don't think Chris Carpenter wants to throw the ball up there. He wants it back. Andrew might want it back to take a whack at it. I don't know if it's just a high slider that stayed up there, or fastball, borderline call. You're going to get some you won't.
You see the 10 plus, 10 plus. The only National Leaguer on that list is right there. The 1-2 from Carpenter. In the air to right center field. Colby Rasmus makes the catch, and the Pirates strand another runner. We're through 3 at PNC. Cards 2, Bucks nothing.
Okay.
Bob Watt, John Wayner. I don't think John did it.
Few names. Oh, that's rather harsh. You know, John's a position player. That might hurt.
But I don't think he did. He had another record. He had the errorless string of 99 straight games.
Also hit the last home run at PNC Park, or River Stadium, excuse me.
So that's a good question. We'll give you the answer coming up in the bottom half of the inning. Yadier Molina now is behind in the count.
Whoever did it against the Cardinals.
It's a natural.
That's a tease on my part.
Yeah, it's a natural.
There's a tease changeup that wasn't much of a temptation.
We've all finally figured that out, that these questions usually have something to do with
who we're playing,
who's around. And the Cardinals are around tonight. And he gets away. So now the count 2-2. 2-2 to Molina, who drove in both Cardinal runs, both of those runs unearned.
Yeah, on an 0-2 pitch from Zach that he'd like to have back.
And here is the 2-2 to Molina. Down to third. LaRoche with a great diving stop from his knees. Can't get it.
Boy, Garrett Jones coming in to try to get that errant throw. Boy, you can get some real nasty contact when you're running down the line as a guy is running up the line. In this case, Molina heading toward first base. Garrett Jones coming down the first base line. I've seen hyperextended elbows. I've seen all kind of problems. As you see, you can get that glove hand in there as he's trying to make the catch. Great effort by Andy.
LaRoche saved the double. Kept the force play in order by at least knocking that ball down. That goes down in the corner. That's two bases. Colby Erasmus takes ball one. Erasmus, a good-looking young player. He's got that high leg kick. You like that?
Well, reminiscent of a couple pretty good ball players. One would be Ty Cobb. And the other, one of my favorite all-time players, Vic Davalillo. Victor.
Colby had a rough time. He had a rough time during the week. He had an 0-for-12 skid going all the way through last weekend, and then on Monday night at Philadelphia ended up with 3 hits and 2 runs batted in to snap that.
Vic Davalillo, who used to raise that leg like that timing mechanism. Ferguson Jenkins threw him a changeup one time. Vic went up, couldn't hold his balance, fell straight back, and fell into the catcher's arms. Now people are paying $20 each to watch that kind of a program.
2-1. That's a base hit. Really solidly struck single by Colby Rasmus. 2 hits to start the inning. First and second, nobody out. And the pitcher up, Carpenter, who will look down at Jose Oquendo at third base and get his marching orders.
Which is to bunt. This particular case, it works out nicely for Tony La Russa to have his pitcher up there bunting and 2 men on, nobody out. And take it right back to a position player in the 9th hole. Sometimes it can work out this way. You never know how it's going to work out. You write down the names in the lineup, how the game's going to unfold. Nobody has that crystal ball.
Runners off first and second. And the pitch. You saw Ronnie Cedeno break away from the bag almost to try to induce Carpenter to thinking the wheel play was on. If that wheel play comes on, what the Pirates want the opposing pitcher to do is to pull back and try to slug bunt.
And if you've worked the fake properly, you still have your infield alignment.
It worked for them in Los Angeles against pitcher Clayton Kershaw. He bit the bait, and the Pirates got the out. Ooh.
Chris Carpenter not at all pleased with that bunt attempt. And there's the old Cardinal secret weapon, Jose Oquendo, so named by Mike Shannon. He'll talk to Chris. Oh, my goodness. What was that all about? Jose Oquendo, and Dave McKay coaching over at first base, one of the real classy guys, Major League Baseball. Both these guys, well thought of, extremely well thought of.
Well, the Cardinals putting a threat together here with 2 on and nobody out. Carpenter looking to bunt him over. And strike 2.
Take another foul ball, another bunt attempt, fouled back. That would be the strikeout. See the bat at the last second drop down. You've got to have the bat either up a little bit or at least level. You drop the head of that bat down, you're going to get a lot of balls that hit the top of the bat and are fouled back.
Not exactly textbook. Gets
let it go,
down,
let it go.
And that'll be a strikeout.
Simple as that.
Carpenter down on strikes, bunting.
And that's 5 strikeouts for Zach now, season high. Well, with 2 strikes, you certainly don't want to try to be perfect. Not that he was trying to do that, but ball rolls foul. Ryan does the right thing. Pirates get the easy out.
So Duke will face Brendan Ryan, the shortstop. He got him to pop out to McCutchen in center field in the second inning. Ryan 0 for 1, struggling with the bat, hitting 188. Up in the air it goes. That is the infield fly. So he is automatically out.
And Zach with a chance to pitch his way out of this little mini mess in the 4th inning.
Well, the infield fly. I was listening to a discussion the other day on the radio in one of the other major league broadcasts on that fine satellite company you mentioned a while ago, Steve. They were discussing the infield fly rule, and they asked the question, when is it okay for the runners to go, because they can advance at their own risk. That's the key. It's at their own risk. But the infield fly is pretty much designed so that the shortstop just doesn't drop it and picks up an easy double play on a ball hit like that.
Well, technically, you can go whenever you want to.
Absolutely. And they were discussing it back and forth on when you can go. And see, I'm saying the same thing and talking to myself in the car, saying, you can go when you want.
Yeah.
You're going to be out.
It's not going to be good, but yeah.
But you could go when you want. For those who don't know, the infield fly rule, first and second, or first, second, and third, less than 2 outs. Ball popped up in the infield. You should look for the umpire to put his finger straight up in the air. Well, one finger. He's got 5 on each hand, so one of them would go straight up in the air. Schumacher now behind ahead 3-0, as Duke is behind in the count.
He'll be taking here, and the problem with this situation, you still haven't given up a run, but now the strike zone kind of tightens up for you psychologically when you got the bases loaded. So if you lose him, not as comfortable.
And he gets the strike. So Zach Duke pitching uphill right here against Skip Schumacher. Top of the 4th inning, 2-0 lead.
Big out to get for Zach and the Pirates. Keep Chris Carpenter within sight.
The step off.
Going to ice him a little bit, as they say. Make him think about it.
Rasmus at first. Molina over there at second. Fouled away in the count full, 3-2. So they'll be off to the races now with the pitch. Zach Duke trying to find a way now to come back from a 3-0 count and get Skip Schumacher, who was 0 for 2. He struck him out once already in the first.
Someday we'll talk about a favorite pickoff play for a right-hand pitcher in this kind of situation, but too much involved right now.
3-2, runners go. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Took it right down to the end, and Zach Duke strands a pair of Cardinal runners. Nice job. St. Louis. Tomorrow on Inside Pirates Baseball, we'll check in on Chris Jakubauskas' recovery from a head-beating incident in Houston. Plus, we'll see how Glenn Wright pulled off the rare feat of an unassisted triple play. It's all Inside Pirates Baseball tomorrow at 6, only on FSN. Strike call to Garrett Jones, 0-1. Pirates half of the fourth. And Chris Jakubauskas last night put on a helmet for a while in the dugout. And I saw him after the game. I said, I saw you putting a helmet on. He said, yeah, did you like that? I said, well, did you like that? Because a scary thing, of course, that happened to him in Houston. He took the line drive off the head, off the bat of Lance Berkman. But he only put it on there because a ball came over toward him, and he was just trying to have a little fun with his teammates.
I'm sure he can have a very, very serious conversation with Paul Maholm about that subject.
Yep. Paul Maholm had that happen. What happened to Paul was much worse. He got hit in the face in the minor leagues. And Jones hammers one deep to right center field. That's going to be off the wall. Jones rounding first. He will pull into second with a leadoff double. Garrett Jones, double number 7, as he just continues to hit.
It was going to be 2 bases anyway, but it was made even easier by the fact that hit up against whatever it hit up against and just kind of died right near the wall instead of bouncing back toward Ludwig. That ball was tattooed. Stays right there.
Ryan Domet now with a chance to bring a runner around. Yep. With 14 runs batted in. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to Schumacher at second base.
And a chance, to get the Pirates on the board, but also if that doesn't work, perhaps just a chance to get Jones over to third base, get the Pirates on the board inexpensively after the leadoff double. However it works, get on the board.
Well, that ground out to second would come in handy here now, because that would move Jones up 90 feet and be in position for Church to drive with a sacrifice fly.
Yeah. It's not a total commitment. It's a commitment to a degree, but you hit a ground ball. It's not automatic. It's either going to go right at the second baseman or first baseman. No rule about having that kind of attempt get all the way into right field and have a win for everybody. Like that.
How about that?
Good work.
That's a good out. Purposeful out. Now Ryan Domet, he'll be 0 for 2 in the book, but he moves Jones up 90 feet down to third base.
Chris Jakubowskis worked out earlier today. Got to throw early under the watchful eye of trainer Brad Henderson. He was out way before anybody else. Had early work in today, and while the rest of the team was out taking batting practice and the pitchers were shagging fly balls, he was finished for the day and was in taking in a little golf on television while he relaxed prior to the game tonight.
That big tournament down in Jacksonville.
Ryan Church, an opportunity to get the Buccos on the board here, trailing 2-0 in the fourth. Chris Carpenter set, now the pitch, and swing and a miss. Strike two. He got Church on strikes in the second inning.
Cardinals will trade the run for an out.
And he got him again on strikes. Oh, we gave you a question a little earlier in the ballgame, top of the fourth, the AT&T Mobility trivia question. And the question, who holds the Pirates record for the most RBIs in a single game? Steve, you said Willie Stargell.
I was going to say Ralph Kiner, maybe.
How about Johnny Rizzo? Against the Cardinals, May 30th, 1939. 9 runs batted in. Did you get the win in that one?
Oh, wow. It's having yourself a day, isn't it?
9 runs batted in. Yeah, that's good. Millage would like 1 right here. He'd settle for 1. 2 would be nice. Still the only regular player to not hit a home run. And when he had his comments saying he had to hit the weight room in the morning, meaning he felt he hit that ball last night. He thought he had a grand slam on. He felt he hit it as hard as he could, and it still didn't leave the ballpark. It just hit off the very top of the wall in left field. Millage would like to get an opportunity to drive one in. Pirates with a leadoff double from Garrett Jones. He's down to third on the ground ball to second by Domit. Church has struck out. And the 1-1. This one into right center field. The Pirates are on the board as Millage drives him in. 2-1. Lastings Millage.
Nice work. 2-out offense. Chris Carpenter got on the other side of Ryan Church, but Millage comes through again, and Lastings Millage starting to heat up and getting a lot of his hits when they count.
It's his 5th run batted in the last 2 games.
Big run for the Pirates. Leadoff double, you don't want to let that go by the boards.
Cedeno with the tying run on base. Millage. Riley bounced out to Skip Schumacher at second. There have been 5 ground ball outs to second in this game already. Well, with the Pirates on the board, Safe Auto Insurance reminds you that you're safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Carpenter's 1-1 on the corner.
Yeah, they have got the defensive setup in the outfield for the Cardinals. Rasmus well over into right center field. There is a 3.5-acre piece of property in left center that is up for sale.
A lot of room out there.
Interesting little move to first base with Pujols nowhere near Lastings Millage, and that happens to every pitcher. You just get in your mind and you have a brain cramp. I'm going to throw over there. Your first baseman is probably more surprised than the runner.
2-2 to Cedeno.
But you have to go through with the throw. It's going to be balked, obviously.
There's the veteran, and John Russell. And another close one. Pirate skipper has seen his team in a number of one-run games this year. They've won a lot of them. Cedeno just past third. That's a foul ball.
Yep, with Freese sitting right on the foul line, or that close to it. Yeah, Gene Freese, I remember being a teammate of his way back in the day, early 60s. Hired infielder, Augie Freese.
Just a note on those one-run games. Pirates 6-1 in one-run games. This is an interesting trend, too. They're not leading right now. If Cedeno were to somehow come around before this inning ended, they would lead after the fourth. The Pirates 10-1 when leading after the fourth inning.
Hit it over the fence, Ronnie.
2-2. And he struck him out. But the Pirates get on the board. A leadoff double by Garrett Jones. And Lasting's Milledge trying to.
They were unearned. A lot of strikeouts for Zach. Doesn't usually get a bunch. He's got 6. Good high fastball against Albert gets him. Another fastball, so he's mixed it up. Some curveball strikeouts. Another one there. Some good fastball strikeouts. He's got 6.
Take a look at the game summary. Yadier Molina, 2 for 2. Driven in both Cardinal runs. Jones with a double, and Milledge with a run batted in. He's 2 for 2. Albert Pujols 0 for 2. He's lurking on deck. There's one down the line, foul.
Wow, just foul. Just foul. So Zach's been just fine tonight. Nice to see when you get 6 strikeouts, they're mixed up. Not just the same kind of pitch. Just not all fastballs or all curveballs. Done a good job going head-to-head with Mr. Carpenter, and you would love to see a big out recorded right here so he can face Albert with nobody on the base paths. Makes life easier.
Ludwig now 1 ball and 2 strikes. I thought Zach showed a lot of poise last inning, giving up 2 singles to start.
Sure,
so first and second and nobody out, and then Chris Carpenter helped him out by spotting the 3rd strike foul.
That was the key. That was a big key. I've got a circle around that. If he sacrifices successfully, it turns the whole inning upside down.
1-2. Strikeout number 7 for number 57.
And his career high is 9. He's got 7 here in 4 1/3 innings.
That one was up and
upstairs.
Ludwig chased it.
That was not the breaking ball.
Now the shift is on for Albert Pujols. 3 to the left, 1 to the right.
When's the last time you saw Albert Pujols 0 for 2 in this ballpark? The answer is not often, however you want to phrase it. He's had great success here. The Cardinals have had great success here. More success than any other visiting team in the short lifetime of this ballpark.
To right field. Church on the track, retires zone. Albert's 0 for 3. We want you to visit the official online shop of the Pirates at pirates.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the pirates.com shop, except no substitutes. I always liked that game jersey right there. That was one of them. The black one?
Yep.
That was intimidating.
Matching hat.
They all have a matching hat.
That's a good match there.
You can get your matching hat at the pirates.com shop.
Yes.
I think is what you meant to say.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We'll keep the light on for you.
That's some nice stuff. You can get a baby parrot. We did our hospital visit in State College in the Caravan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Funniest thing, the parrot's with us, and he's got the baby parrot, and he's posing with the moms. The mom's got the baby, and he's got the baby parrot. And just really a funny picture.
This all fits. So we're having a nice fit here in the fifth like we did in the third so far. 2 quick outs, and Halladay got the double, but the 2-out double, he was stranded.
And Halladay hits them where they ain't.
Some shorter, though.
2 for 3. Reached on an error. Third time he's been on base.
And now the dangerous youngster, the rookie, David Freese. You say freeze or freeze?
Freeze, like, you know, the
freeze and frozen ice cream?
Like the criminal on Batman, Mr. Freeze.
Uh-huh. You try to freeze Cam, you try to freeze the kicker.
And the throw over, and Halladay is back. Had a multi-hit game on Tuesday night. And he's had 3 3-hit games already this year. Look at that night. Just another perfect night. Hope the weather holds. And I don't mean just for tonight. I'm talking about for the rest of the weekend. Big weekend here. Fireworks tomorrow night. Mother's Day game on Sunday. In fact, it's a Zach Duke giveaway. The Zach Duke.
Not Zach himself.
No. Ground ball to the left side. LaRoche goes the short way and gets the out there.
We'll keep Zach.
Zach is sticking around. be modeling his jersey strap bag. All kids 14 and under and moms will receive that, courtesy of Dick's Sporting Goods. Family Fun Zone pregame on Federal Street. Kids run the bases postgame. Brought to you by HK Pretzels. Pirates.com for tickets. And Duke clubs one down to second base. Schumacher plays the hop and retires Zach. And there is one away. Coming up on Sunday, June 6th, it's Bats Against Breast Cancer. It's a women's baseball clinic hosted by Lastings Village to benefit the Allegheny General Breast Center. And it's an interactive clinic just for women. And by signing up, you'll get access to the field, a game ticket for one of the suites, question and answer session after the game. It's just $99. And they did this in Bradenton during spring training, and it was extremely popular. And if you're looking for that last-minute Mother's Day gift, that's it.
Because you forgot again?
That's right. That is it. So if you want to get involved in this great Lastings Ladies program, the clinic, contact Charlene at 412-325-4691. Naomura is down. Again, the number 412-325-4691. Ask for Charlene. And you can be registered to participate against Sunday, June 6th. Lastings Ladies. They ought to mass produce that T-shirt. I think it'd be a popular one.
Yep. It's a good match.
2 men out for Andy LaRoche. He's 0 for 2. And LaRoche bangs this one into left center for a base hit.
So the Pirates getting their share of hits. They have not been able to bunch them except for the two that they put together in the fourth to get on the scoreboard. 2 out single by Andy.
17 out of 20 first pitch strikes for Chris Carpenter. 4 innings in a row. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 innings in a row now. A 2-out single. Pirates have had a man aboard in every inning. And here is Andrew McCutchen. 1 for 2, doubled in the first. Now'd be a good time.
I'm sure you mentioned it last night, Tim, with the passing of Robert Roberts, one of baseball's all-time great pitchers. Also, a little sidebar to that, Robin Roberts was instrumental in starting the Major League Baseball Players Pension Fund with Judge Robert Cannon out of Milwaukee way back in the day. Ironic that to qualify early, you had to get 5 years in the big leagues. And the average Major League career was 3.7. But that's been refined and adjusted and adapted. But Robin Roberts, a great pitcher and instrumental for helping a lot of former Major League players before the salaries got enormous.
1-2 to McCutchen. There goes LaRoche. Pitches high, throw down, and lots of time to get it. So Andrew McCutchen stranded at the altar as Andy LaRoche is gunned down by Molina. didn't know what the score was, you'd think the Bucs were ahead. No earned runs for Zach Duke. 7 strikeouts. And each pitcher has given up 6 hits.
Yep, as advertised for the pitching tonight.
Well, it's just Oliver and Hannah neck and neck.
Well, there's a lot going on in that race. They blocked Oliver. It was a vicious team scheme.
Yeah, I think Cheese Chester was involved in the whole scandal.
Like roller derby, you know, when they used to block.
Yeah. Like the Thunderbirds, remember?
Yep. Whole lot of pitching going on. 2-1 ball games to go to the 6th inning. Zach Duke has been just fine tonight.
Molina chops this one foul. Yadier Molina has had the good bat for the Cardinals. 2 out of 2, 2 runs batted in. Pair of singles for Molina. He had the 2-run single in the first after Cedeno committed an error on a Matt Holliday ground ball to short with 2 outs. And that error is still looming large as the difference in the game so far. A 2-1 ball game. Good one here tonight.
Slick lid. Slick lid right there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You came dressed to kill. Wonder what they're looking at.
Rook 1 to pawn. It looked like a chessboard. Chessboard.
1-2 pitch. And this one could be trouble. LaRoche makes the quick throw, and he gets Molina. No, he doesn't. The throw pulls him off the bag, Jones rather, and Molina's aboard.
Correctly charged error on Andy on the throw. Plenty of time. You got the catcher running.
It looked like the ball was going to be hit slowly enough where Molina was going to have a chance, and then maybe Andy rushed that throw. Second error of the ball game for the Pirates.
And he really looked like he was aware of the situation because he didn't rush early. He just kind of caught a flyer on the left.
Rasmus skies this one to left center, and getting in position is Lastings Millage.
He's not going anywhere.
1 out.
You know, take a look at the error charge to Andy. Andy looked comfortable. He knows he's got time. Picks it up. Everything looks good until he hooks it. Threw him a slider. Let's see if Zach Duke can pitch around that. Step 1, getting the fly ball. Now he's got Carpenter. Good opportunity to get step 2 taken care of, but not automatic. Just don't assume it's going to happen. Is it going to be a bunt? Yep. I'll try it again.
Carpenter struck out swinging leading off the second. He struck out bunting in the fourth.
And the Pirates, you know, they'll take the out here. Get yourself a second out. I would do exactly what Zach Duke is doing right now. Explain in a moment. Ball popped up.
Duke will take the out at first base with Iwamura covering. Down to second, Yadier Molina.
You know, sometimes you play little games, Tim, and it's I don't know if it's right or wrong, but back in the day, guys didn't square around this early, and it would be fun just to have a guy get in that position and just hold your set position for an hour. Just make him stand there, and maybe he'll turn to stone. Who knows? So the sacrifice works after the stuff.
Well, with Joe Kerrigan on the mound, we got a second to check our easytouse.com minor league connection. Altona's Justin Wilson, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts tonight. They're in a pitcher's duel as well at Blair County Ballpark. 1-0 Erie, top of the 6th. Jordy Mercer, a pair of singles tonight. Indies in a rain delay at AAA. This is Brendan Ryan. He's 0 for 2. Fly to center and hit into the infield fly to Cedeno in the fourth. 2 men out. Molina the runner at second base, and Duke trying to get out of this one again. Got the Cardinals in order in the second inning. The faced 4 in the third, fourth, and fifth. Two balls and no strikes.
Just one free pass issued. That was by Zach in the first inning. Both pitchers on their game tonight.
Two 2-0 the count. Ryan waits. Now the pitch. That one missed somewhere. 3-0.
Well, if he loses him, he goes back up the top. He's had very good success against Skip Schumacher so far tonight. 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. The matchup between Zach and Shu.
And there's the strike right at the knees. See what Zach Duke has done inning by inning. A tough first. Although Albert Pujols made it tough on him, getting a dozen or more pitches in just his at bat alone. Then 12 and 12, 14 in the fifth. 3-1. And now the count filled up.
Nicely done with the hook.
Zach Duke, an all-star last year. Joe Kerrigan likes what he sees when Duke is on the mound. Duke had a couple of hiccups on the road trip, but has pitched very well here at PNC Park.
Another curveball. He can afford to do that. Not to give in, throw the fastball. He's got the open base. Got a guy in the on deck circle he's had pretty good success with. So try to make his pitch without going automatically to the fastball.
Full count, 2 down, man at second. And Duke trying to find a way to get Brendan Ryan out right now. Stretching the payoff pitch. Ball 4.
And try to go upstairs with the fastball after the hooks, maybe can perhaps chase a high fastball, bad pitch, and not catch up to it. Good plan, just a little bit too high, and Mr. Ryan wasn't biting.
Second walk issued tonight by Duke. Schumacher struck out twice and grounded out. 0 for 3. Forced play back on for the infielders. 220 the average for Schumacher. And he'll look at a breaking ball for a strike.
You look at a possible script, and again, I don't want to manage, but I think John Russell would be happy to get Zach through this 6th and nobody warming up. Maybe squeeze a 7th inning out of him tonight.
That's up the middle. And here comes McCutchen. He will gun it to the plate. The cutoff by Jones. He doesn't look behind him. And into second base goes Schumacher. Not exactly what the Pirates had in mind in terms of the relay. They had an easy out at second base. Iwamura was there to cover, and Jones didn't throw it to him.
Base hit right under the glove of Zach. Now the throw by McCutchen. You see his cut off, and they did indeed, as the replay shows, have the out at second base.
Cedeno there rather than Iwamura. So an RBI for Schumacher, his 5th, and it's now a 3-1 game. So that error, looming large, causes another run. Woodwick grounds out to Cedeno. Another run comes across on the hit by Schumacher. And after 5.5, it's a 3-1 St. Louis lead.
there. That's tonight's Freeze Cam, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Steve Glass, Tim Neverett, here at PNC Park. Albert Pujols 0 for 3, but Chris Carpenter and the Cardinals with a 3-1 lead. Bottom of the sixth, and McCutchen leads off. And he bangs a single right into center field. Second hit of the night for Andrew McCutchen. He's 2 for 3. See how long he stays at first base. McCutchen had the National League lead in steals for a while, and he's been stuck on 10 for several games, as Michael Bourne from Houston has now passed him.
I'll tell you what, we got to help Zach Duke out. The Cardinals are leading 3-1 on 3 unearned runs.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. You know, your ERA stays at 0, but you're losing.
Right there, toe-to-toe with Chris Carpenter.
Jones would like to make up for forgetting about the base runner Schumacher, who took second base on him on that relay. No balls, 1 strike. McCutchen off of first. And a swing and a miss, 0-2. Leadoff single by McCutchen. He's a very important run. Jones at the plate right now. Ryan Domit on deck. Here comes the 0-2. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chris Carpenter, 35 years of age, out of Exeter, New Hampshire. It's on the seacoast. And he strikes out Garrett Jones. Sixth strikeout now for Carpenter.
Fastball outside with some movement, taking it further out away. As Carpenter moves the ball all around the strike zone. He's got that slider in tight in on the left-hander's hands, and then he can go away with that good fastball, and he'll work you in and out, and literally down and out.
We get double barrel action now in the bullpen. Meek and Carrasco. Ryan Domit, 2 career home runs off of Chris Carpenter. And this one to center and hit pretty well. Colby Rasmus won't get it. Andrew McCutchen steps on the gas. He's coming around third. McCutchen is in. A run-scoring double for Ryan Domit. It's 3-2.
Ryan Domit hit that a long way, and Andrew McCutchen can slide right up cozy to second base, make sure the ball is not going to be caught, and then it's kind of an easy trip the rest of the way. And Ryan gives it a big ride. And see, Andrew right up there, that's the place to be. He can get back easily, or he can turn it on and score easily. And when he's on the bases, a lot of things are easy.
And now the tying run in scoring position. Boy, this ball went a long way. This not far enough to get out of the ballpark. Rasmus burned by Ryan Domit. Church, who has struck out twice, would like to get a hit here, obviously. He's hit well at PNC Park. And against Chris Carpenter.
He just went out with the Pirate bullpen busy. Let's see if we can get a couple more runs for Zach Duke.
Church only 1 for 8 in his career against Carpenter. He's ahead of the count now for a change, 2-0. He'd been behind 0-2 quickly in his 2 prior at bats.
If you can't get 2, get at least 1 to get Zach off the hook, if indeed he is done for the night.
Strike is called, 2-1.
Just a little BP fastball, just to get himself back in the count for Chris Carpenter.
Buccos have been battling here against one of baseball's best right-handers, Chris Carpenter. Two and two.
There he comes in. He gets behind 2-0, and then just kind of, I'm going to show you a fastball. You get in, and 84 miles an hour. Now the good fastball, 92 miles an hour. And look at the location. right on the inside corner. That's why this guy is so good. He can make pitches when he's behind in the count. What a gift. That's talent.
And Church will get another.
Yeah, he's got Ryan in a bad spot now. He didn't at first, fell behind 2-0, but now that he's even with an open base, I mean, he can take a couple of different approaches here. Try to find a way to throw his kind of pitch. If he loses him, it's not a disaster, but he doesn't lose too many people by issuing a free pass.
Here's the 2-2, and he got him for the third time. Church down on strikes 3 times swinging. And with 2 outs, Lasting's Millage, who has 2 hits and a run batted in.
Breaking ball, slider, curveball, and all the way from 2-0 to 2-3.
He's got some great movement on that pitch.
Yep. His control is so good. He doesn't have to fall into very predictable patterns.
Millage will take ball 1. Well, Millage has the hot bat. He's along with McCutcheon, the only 2 Pirates with more than 1 hit. And of the 8 hits, McCutcheon and Millage have 4 combined. They'll take that one.
Another thing, you don't see Chris Carpenter shaking Yadier Molina off. They work in tandem. Molina knows what he's got.
1-1. That's fouled away. Got it up into the second deck down the right field side. So Millage down to his final strike here in the 6th. Done a good job with runners in scoring position. Runners on base. 18 for 49 with guys on their bags. 367. So I'd like to continue that here. Cedeno on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Domet represents the tying run.
Now Carpenter working him away the last 2 pitches. See if we can see where Molina sets up and see if they stay out there or whether they want to come back in and tie him up, thinking that Millage has got away on his mind. Pitches away on his mind after those last 2. There's the Cardinal catcher. Right at the last minute, he'll make a little bit of a move. They want to stay away.
And he struck out Millage.
Nice breaking ball. You got to give Chris Carpenter credit.
He gets the side. Stay after the game. Zambelli fireworks will light up the Pittsburgh skyline from the best ballpark in America. It's also Polish celebration Come early tomorrow night for live music, authentic food, and festivities all on Federal Street before the game. For your tickets, visit pirates.com. Look at that scenery. We'll see it again tomorrow night. Good ball game here at PNC with Steve Blanch, Tim Neverett. 3-2. Cardinals in front. Top of the 7th. Albert Pujols leading off.
Nice to see Zach back out there.
It is. He's
worked hard tonight.
Pitched effectively. And the bad news for Zach, all 3 of those runs, not his fault. Unearned. But you still have to pitch through it. They all count. And Pujols takes high for ball 2. Two and two. How does that work?
Yeah, Albert got a little anxious there. He got a little greedy. That was a breaking ball. Looked like it was out of the strike zone. Let's see if we can re-examine this foul ball. We don't take a look at too many foul balls, but see him extension way out there.
Up in the air, the infield. Ronnie Cedeno.
Nice job by Zach, putting the collar on Albert.
He is 0 for 4. Ronnie Cedeno could have made himself a sandwich before that ball came down.
Extended outing for Zach, but he has earned it tonight. Earned the right to be out there for the 7th.
Matt Holliday has reached base 3 times, twice via the hit in front of that one. Talking about pitches and pitch counts. You mentioned Robin Roberts earlier. He had 6 straight seasons where he had over 304 innings pitched in a season.
We won 286 and had 305 complete games.
That's amazing.
So he was out there even in some losses.
And Matt Holliday finds his way aboard again with his 3rd hit of the night.
And all of them that way. There's a smart hitter. He knows he's going to probably get at least one look at a sinking fastball or something out away, and has not tried to pull any of them, and he's 3 for 4.
David Freese back in there. Freese walked in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, get into a fielder's choice at the end of the inning in the 5th. This one down to 3rd and wide, right past the secret weapon. Well, hold on to that. Daddy-daughter night, the ball game. Here comes the 0-1. And Freese on the ground. Great stop, Andy LaRoche. They won't have a play on it. It'll be a hit for Freese, but that keeps the forced play on in the infield with 1 out. And he just lays out for it.
Keeps it from going down into the corner. And runners at 2nd and 3rd. And that's going to be it for Zach.
Realizing the same thing. That's going to be it for Zach Duke as John Russell has gone out to get him. The Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made.
hitter in a
You
fastball
can catch
count
the
and be able
entire
to
tip on
throw
Sunday's
one.
Trip Total Media Pirates pregame at 1 o'clock this Sunday. Well, that T-shirt, huh? Best dressed man in that section of the camera well.
Veteran status for that shirt. Holding up nicely.
That's not new?
Well, could be one of those things. They manufacture them in all kind of states of condition now.
I have a feeling it's not new.
Carrasco on the mound, and this appearance will tie him for the Pirate lead in appearances with Evan Meek. Zach goes 6 1/3, 9 hits, 3 runs, all unearned, but responsible for the 2 runners here in the top of the 7th.
Molina shoots that one through the right side. Here comes Holiday. Church's throw is not in time. Oh, he got him.
Slid around Ryan Doumit. Ryan held his ground.
Looked like Holiday was going to score easily. And Doumit's positioning forced Holiday around him and then tagged him.
How about that work?
Wow.
Check it out. There's Ryan. So the runner's going in the back door. Slides back. Where's that left hand? Close. And now it's interesting because the runner, Holiday, has his body between the umpire and the ball.
And Molina thinks he scored for a moment and then can't believe it. Well, Ryan Doumit made a great play in Milwaukee on Jim Edmonds in that 14-inning game, the last day of the series there, forcing Edmonds to slide around him, and he tagged him out. And this reminds me of 2007 Padres Rockies game number 163. See, he didn't touch. And Matt Holliday slid home with what turned out to be the game-winning run.
And they said Holiday was a football player, right?
Yeah.
We wondered if he might have just gone in there hard. Now John Russell going to make another change, and Ryan Doumit holding the ground, and that's that gray area where you can be there without the ball. Technically, you're not supposed to, but you can fudge a little bit. One more look. There's Ryan. Although he forces Holiday to slide around. Holiday makes that decision. And boy, Ryan was vulnerable up in the air, and Holiday could have really given him a shot.
Another Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made by Pirates manager John Russell.
Church gets the ball, and Ryan is allowed to go up there and kind of be around, position himself for a throw. What he can't do is hunker down and position himself without the ball, and it's too much time, and the umpire will not allow that. But all that movement, all that activity, he's got that kind of room, that gray area and gray time period to do what he has to do, and does it well. Does as well as you can do it.
The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Helps that Ryan Church has a very good arm. Zach Duke, happy that run stays off the board. Would have been charged to him. 2 outs, and now Jack Tashner has the job of getting Colby Rasmus. Good numbers for Tashner.
Let's keep it right here at 3-2.
Want to know to Rasmus. Rasmus tonight 1 for 3, singled in the 4th. St. Louis center fielder hitting .302 on the season. He has 6 home runs.
Now you got Chris Carpenter in the on-deck circle. That sometimes can be a factor of how you approach this at bat. But you're always taking a chance when you put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, I'm not going to give him much. If I lose him, I got the pitcher. But now you got the bases loaded. Run into a little wild streak, and you're going to give them a real cheap run.
One ball and 1 strike to Rasmus.
Good work from that man you just saw, Zach Duke. A good outing tonight against these Cardinals.
It's the swinging strike. And 6 1/3 solid innings, 7 strikeouts, no earned runs.
Just for Zach's sake, you'd like to keep it that way. 2 base hits here in the 7th caused his departure. Tashner has averaged a strikeout per inning. Got a position to add to that right now. Another hook.
Yep. And he got it. Jack Tashner does the job, and he whips Colby Rasmus, and the score stays right where it is. We have
By Day Automotive, we're going to make your day.
We welcome you back to PNC Park. Tight ball game between the Cardinals and the Pirates. Game 1 of a 3-game weekend set. 3-2. Hello, wait. Back to you. Ronnie Cedeno lead off against Chris Carpenter. It'll be Cedeno. Delwyn Young is in the on-deck circle. And then the top of the order, Morris went right down to third base, and David Freese fires one over to first base, and Cedeno is gone in the 7th. Chris Carpenter, he just eats innings. 7 against Arizona and no decision, 6 against Atlanta and a win, 7 on Sunday against Cincinnati. Only gave up 2 hits. Going back to that Arizona no decision, struck out 10. But just chews up innings, and here he is in the 7th again. Delwyn Young had a pinch hit single last night. saw him by the batting cage today, Steve. I said, hey, let's try to keep those pinch hits going, because I wouldn't say he's exactly racking them up, but he's been fairly consistent with them. Just kind of shrugged his shoulders. Didn't say much. You know, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do, doing my job. Molina wants an appeal. Third base umpire Ed Hickox says no. Delwyn Young, out of Los Angeles, former Dodger. Looking for a hit. 2-2. A little tapper wide of the mound. Carpenter will play it. And he will tag Delwyn Young for the out. 2 men are down in the Pirate 7th. To celebrate Phantom of the Opera's final farewell tour, FSN is searching for the Phantom of the Bird. Submit a photo of you cheering your favorite Pittsburgh team to fan-tom at fsnpittsburgh.net. 5 fan favorites will score 2 tickets to see Phantom of the Opera at the Benedum Center this summer. Get that? That is fan-tom at fsnpittsburgh.net. You like that show, Steve?
I do. I've seen it twice.
Did it have the same ending both times?
Yep. Same winners, same losers. Saw it with Michael Crawford in New York City. Fabulous.
1-0 to Aki. He swings and pops this one up. Shallow right. Schumacher will grab it in a 1-2-3-7 for Carpenter. And the Cardinals will head on to the 8th inning. It's 3-2 St. Louis. Take a look at the road ahead, brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, tomorrow it's Cardinals at 6:30, and then Sunday 1 o'clock. And the Reds come in, radio only on Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, right here on FSN. Wednesday's a noon pregame start. On getaway day. Actually, it's not getaway day. Day off the next day, and that will be the travel day. Getaway day for the Reds.
Evan Meek on to work here in the 8th inning, 3-2 ball game. Nothing decided yet. Mr. Carpenter dealing, but we've got activity in the Cardinal bullpen as Meek becomes the 4th pitcher of the evening for the Pirates.
And Meek will face the pinch hitter, John Jay. Jay facing Evan Meek, and Jay hitting for Carpenter. Jason Mott is loosening up. Jay, 25 years of age. Rips one to right field for a base hit.
Doesn't he realize that Evan Meek has been terrific? It's not supposed to happen.
Apparently, Jay didn't get the memo, or the text, or the email. Some sort of electronic communication.
Something similar to what happened in the market yesterday.
You were watching that, were you?
Yep. I think a lot of people were.
Not with a grin either. Brendan Ryan, 0 for 2 with a walk. He looks over at first, throws over there.
Trying to find out if the Cardinals might be trying to move Mr. J.
Well, 2 nights ago against the Cubs, Meek came in the 7th and induced a double play ball. And then a ground ball to follow. A similar situation right here. And a bunt. Dolan will field it. He throws out Ryan. And that puts a man in scoring position. Now, talking about the Cubs, who just were swept out of PNC Park, they are playing Cincinnati and pounding them. Starlin Castro called up, plays shortstop. How about that? A home run in his first at bat. 6 runs batted in his major league debut. Looks like he's ready. Kerry Wood activated from the disabled list for the Tribe, and Edgar Renteria on the 15-day disabled list for the Giants. He's going to strain right groin. Andy Pettit won't start against the Tigers. He's got an elbow issue. One out, Skip Schumacher at the plate. Here is Evan Meek's delivery. It's by him at 94. You know, right when you want that list of players handy that have homered in their first major league at bat, it's not here.
Well, we know that Chuck Tanner's on the list. That's
he is
the most important thing.
Trying to think of a few others off the top of my head. Homered in their first big league at bat. I think there were some pitchers who've done that. One ball and 1 strike to Skip Schumacher for an RBI single in the 6th. He struck out twice tonight. Rolls this one to the right side. Garrett Jones handles it. Records the out, and they are now 2 men away. Down to third goes John Jay. And then the Cubs leading Cincinnati. The Cubs finally found a way to get some hits. Lou must have scared the hitters when they got back out on the road. 10-4 in the 6th inning. Chicago leading Cincinnati. Philadelphia's been on a tear. They just swept the Cardinals. Now they lead Atlanta in the top of the 9th, 7-0.
Well, you know the Cubs are going to score some runs. There's just too much firepower in that lineup there. And we're just happy to get on the other side of them with our good pitching, giving up just 5 runs in 3 games. Should have a chance, good chance for a sweep.
3-2 ball game. Meek trying to keep it that way, facing Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig singled and scored in the first, but has been 0 for 3 since. 1 for 4 tonight. One-0 pitch. Fouled away. Padres out in front of the Houston Astros, 5-0. And the Astros at 9-19 to start play tonight. Already 8.5 behind the Cardinals in the division. They've got the worst record in the National League. And at home tonight, being shut out halfway through the game. They have just had problem after problem, night after night, scoring runs.
Whenever that happens, your best man, there's always speculation. They're talking about Lance Berkman. Is he going to hang around? Is he not going to hang around? That's just the natural order of things when you're scuffling.
1-1. Pitch outside. Well, Berkman said he's got a no trade clause, but he said this week that
he would understand.
He would understand or look into it if it would help the ball club.
Got to be on your toes, Brian Domit. Red flag up. Evan Meek throws so hard. If he misses badly, you got to find a way to spear the ball. You got to run at third base. You don't want to give a run away.
Ludwig, that's strike 2.
A contest of wills here. A little old-fashioned backyard fastball. Our guy's going to throw it as hard as he can. The other guy's going to try to swing as hard as he can. See if he can catch up to it.
It's John Jay. Jim Edmonds' old number.
Number 15, right.
Jim was a step faster then. Good thing, too.
Doug Drabek's old number. Not the most common number for a pitcher, but Doug wore it with great effectiveness for the Pirates. Won the Cy Young Award.
Big pitch coming for Evan Meek. 2 outs, a man at third. Here is the 2-2. And he got him swinging. Nice job by Evan Meek. Holds the Cardinals scoreless. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Still a 1-run ball game. Striking out Ryan Ludwig. The potential runner on third. You gotta like that. He has been absolutely terrific out of the bullpen for the Pirates.
Yes, indeed.
Coming out of the bullpen for the Cardinals now is right-hander Jason Mott.
Former catcher turned pitcher.
Face LaRoche. And Andy thought he got hit. At least he made a motion toward first base like he thought he got hit.
Get a part of the jersey. No sale.
And he'll take that instead. A leadoff single and the tying run is now aboard in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Is Andy LaRoche the king of the line drive single over the third baseman's head?
It would appear.
They keep a stat on everything. Come on, let's have it. You got to be leading the league in those type of base hits. And now we got action. Pirates where they want to be in their batting order.
Jason Mott's numbers. Right-hander out of.
Look at this little number
Michigan.
down here. 1 home run given up. Just to put it in your mind.
Andrew McCutchen, who is 2 for 3 tonight, a double in the first, a single and a run scored in the 6th.
Now, you got Freese in on the grass. Cardinals expecting a bunt.
Ball 1. McCutchen has faced Mott once before, and Mott struck him out. That was last season. Now a lot more room on that left side if McCutchen gets around on one. Quick throw back to first, and LaRoche is in safely. Ball and a strike to McCutchen.
Molina, quick. The footwork is perfect, and the quick throw, accurate throw down to first base. And good job by Andy of staying alert to that possibility. Perhaps even reminded by Carlos Garcia.
Since 2005, Molina has picked off 33 runners. That's the most in the majors.
And gets a glove save there. Right knee deep in the hockey playoffs.
Yeah.
Glove save.
It looked like the flower. Marc-Andre Fleury. There's a base hit. Third one of the night for McCutchen. Andy LaRoche into third base, and a tying run 90 feet away with nobody out.
Action. Good night. Big time night for Andrew McCutchen.
Andrew McCutchen continues to rake.
Nothing cheap about it. Good early read by Andy to get around to third base. No issues there. And here comes Tony La Russa. He figures he's got to do something right now. Andrew making the turn just in case.
Well, there's a guy when you're looking at your all-star ballot. Punch his name. Jason Mott is done. Tony La Russa has made the Columbia Gas 8-1. Working on his swing. Well, nothing seems to be too wrong with it tonight, Steve. 3 out of 4.
That left-handed swing?
Yeah, maybe he's thinking about it. It was a lefty swing.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this guy is good. Yeah. I'm talking about Mr. McCutchen. He's thinking about that. Trevor Miller did a fabulous job for Tony La Russa last year. Left-hand batters hitting 135, 2009. So Tony's going right to the man he wants, the specialist, lefty specialist, to hook up against Garrett Jones.
Miller, 494 appearances from 2003 to right now. That's the most by any left-handed pitcher in that time frame.
Priority 1, get the ball out of the infield. Priority 2, hit it a long way out of the infield. Priority 3, get it wet, get it in the river.
Tying run at third, go ahead run at first. And Miller, the bender outside. Cardinals have lost 3 straight. They took the opener against Philly, then lost 3 in a row. Philly now clubbing Atlanta. That game has gone final. The Phillies now 7-0 winners over the Braves.
Jamie Moyer?
Jamie Moyer, age 47. I think he twirled a 2-hitter. Go to first and McCutchen back.
Yeah, they really can't forget about him because he represents a huge run.
That's the guy they want to get in right now. 1 ball, no strikes to Garrett Jones. Miller deal. Ryan Domet had to duck to get out of the way in the on-deck circle. And Domet came up with a big hit in the 6th with a run-scoring double. He got McCutchen around. Well, McCutchen got McCutchen around, but Domet helped.
Just missed. As Miller comes from down under.
Average up with runners on base. 3 of his 4 home runs have come with men aboard. He's 2 of 4 against Trevor Miller in his brief career with a run batted in. Right back to it. They got Andy hung up. McCutchen getting all the way to third base, trying to take his place there, and down to second is Jones. And they've got 2 outs there, it looks like. The Cardinals are celebrating as though both men are out. That's unbelievable. And John Russell's got to come out and argue this one. How does that happen?
Well, first of all, the mistake, Andy getting caught up, and if he gets caught up, he can't go back to the base. Make sure he's out away from third base. Apparently both runners on third base. That's what I'm thinking. They're tagging everybody. Let's see what we can see out of this. First of all, the mistake. Andy gets hung up. He's trying to allow Andrew to get into third base.
McCutchen's already standing on the base. Molina tags them both. He tagged McCutchen first.
Yeah, he reached around Andy.
Oh, and then when Andy
steps off. That's what happened. He reached around. Andy LaRoche tagged Andrew. Andy, thinking he was out, left the base. I think it's as simple as that.
You may never see that again.
And if you do, it won't ever be in such a horrendous time in the ball game when the Pirates have set up shop.
The most strange and outrageous double play you will ever see. And Ryan Domet now, with all that, a 1-1 count. He still has the tying run in scoring position. Boy, the Pirates were in a terrific spot, and Trevor Miller caught Andy LaRoche, and instead of giving himself up, seeing the runner already at third.
It looks like the double whammy for Andy. First of all, getting trapped off third, and then stepping back off the bag. And
Well,
the picture tells it all.
You could have limited the damage with one out. If you give yourself up, then you've got, McCutcheon's already there, and Jones pulled into second. One out, second and third. That's not the worst of situations, obviously. And this isn't the worst either.
Or stay in the bag at third base till you figure everything out.
Yeah, that could be. Ryan Dolan with a 2-1 count. Well, Andy's never going to do that again. Kind of like Millage last night when he went around second thinking he had a home run and get tagged out. That's something he won't do again. 3 balls and a strike now to Ryan Dolan. Miller's pitch. That hit him. That hit him. So Jones has to go back to second base in the dead ball.
Andy's going back. He steps on, and then Molina reaches around, tags Andrew, and Andy is assuming that he was the one that was out. And Molina knows that he's got the double play. There can be no argument.
Two men on, the tying run, go-ahead run still on, and Ryan Church, who has had a very difficult night at the plate, trying to turn it around with one swing. He has struck out 3 times, but that was against Chris Carpenter. And here, facing Trevor Miller. Church 1 for 3 in his career against him. And the lefty deals. And Church files it back. No balls and a strike. Crucial moment in the ball game. And a big at bat now for Ryan Church. Church starting his 7th game in right field tonight. He's been starting in left, right, played a little bit of center. 1-1. That pitch too far inside.
The Pirates have had unbelievable amount of action in this inning.
And that hit him. So Miller hits Church, and the bases are going to be loaded for Lasting's Millage. And that moves the tying run down to third. The go-ahead run into scoring position. Brad Henderson, the trainer, along with skipper John Russell, going to take a look at Ryan Church, and that's going to be a sore hand. Ouch. Morgan Miller, he hadn't hit a man in 10 appearances, and then hits 2 in successive at-bats. And Tony La Russa wants to come out and get Trevor Miller. Church Smile brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. Ryan Domick. RBI double in the 6th inning, scoring McCutcheon, and then the defensive play where his leg kept Matt Holliday's arm away from home plate. He got the tag and the throw from Ryan Church. Those plays that make you smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. So Domick is at second base. He represents the go-ahead run. The Pirates have the bases loaded, and Tony La Russa has gone to his closer here at the bottom of the 8th inning, right-hander Ryan Franklin.
Well, there are various times in a ball game you can actually save a game. It doesn't always have to be with 2 outs in the 9th inning. So he's going for what he needs and he thinks is going to be the most important out of the ball game right here. 38 saves for Ryan Franklin last year. And don't count on him walking anybody or throwing any wild pitches. His control is that good.
Millage 0 for 4 against Ryan Franklin, so he's due.
And he has been very good with runners in scoring position.
First pitch to Millage. Strike call.
77 mile an hour something.
Yeah, that was that kind of stood Lastings up just a little bit. He's got 2 hits and 3 trips, plus a run batted in tonight. In the dirt, it gets away. Here comes Jones. He's safe, and the ball game is tied at 3.
Wow. And I was just saying that his control has been that good, and Molina is that good, and Molina's smile after the double play has been neutralized. It's been as bizarre a bottom of the 8th as you can possibly imagine.
And a brand new ball game.
Right through the wicket, right underneath the glove. Unbelievable. Bottom of the 8th.
Franklin's first wild pitch. And it could be an expensive one for St. Louis. One at third, Church at first. Both hit by Trevor Miller pitches.
Franklin had 1 wild pitch last year with his 38 saves.
And Millage fouls this one away.
Well, Chris Carpenter does not get his win, and Zach Duke is off the hook.
Well, Zach Duke certainly deserved a better fate. All 3 runs unearned. 2 Pirate errors resulting in those runs. But that's all erased now. Back to square one. And the double play.
Yep.
That Andy LaRoche
Zach's not the only one that's
into.
off the hook. He's not the only one that's off the hook.
That's right. 1-2 to Millage. And it is now a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Yeah, you think Andy LaRoche feel a little more relieved right now?
That's all right. He'll get his share of people off the hook with his own work during the course of a season.
The wind starting to kick up a little bit around PNC Park. 2-2. And Millage hits it to the left side. Freeze on to first. But it is a new ball game.
It's a wild and woolly 8th inning.
A very strange one. But we'll go to the 9th, even at 62 as McGuire became the first man since Roger Maris in 1961 to hit more than 61 in the regular season. That is the Cold Hard Blast, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Barry Bonds would later break that with 73 in a season. What a night that was. Top of the ninth, 3-3. In fact, the other night after the game, I went home, that movie 61 was on, directed by Billy Crystal, and that, what you just saw, is right in the end of that film. Very neat.
Big matchup right here. Meek, Pujols.
This is a big at bat. I don't think I need to tell you that. Albert Pujols, 0 for 4. Struck out, lined out, and popped out twice. Meeks 1-1. In the air to right. And Church will gather it in for out number 1. And Pujols is gone in the ninth.
0 for 5 as Evan Meek goes away from the fastball and gives him a good slider. Good slider to get the pop up out to right field. Evan Meek has been dealing. Nice article in the Post-Gazette about Evan and his success as a Rule 5 player. Pat on the back to Neil Huntington for that transaction. So far, so good. Evan Meek dealing.
Matt Holliday can't get him out. This guy has been absolutely unconscious tonight.
In all in one.
4 for 5, but he reached on an error. And he's hit the ball and been on base all 5 times.
All in the same direction. Everything hit to that side, except for the error in the first inning.
Now, Tony La Russa comes out to first base to talk to Matt Holliday. He's going to take him out. Get a pinch runner in there.
Usually, if there's not an injury involved, they'll just send the runner out. He might have hurt himself, maybe coming around home plate. Could that have been that's been a while.
Well, you think about that slide, Steve. I mentioned it at the time. It reminded me of 2007, game 163 between the Rockies and the Padres. He had that same kind of slide. And if you ask Padres manager Bud Black about it now, and anybody associated with the Padres, and maybe anybody who watched that game on television, and 9/10 the people in the stadium, Matt Holliday still hasn't touched home plate. But he was ruled safe. And it was the same type of slide that he got called out on. Domet was able to block his hand and get the tag on the back. So Joe Mather will come out and pinch run for Matt Holliday in the top of the ninth.
Well, you wonder if this ball game goes an extended number of innings, whether that might become a factor to get this guy out, because that's the only way we've been able to handle him, remove him from the baseball game.
David Freese has a hit. 1 for 3 with a walk. 1 out, top of the ninth, and Meek throws it past him at 93.
Walk on by.
Long pause. Now the throw to first. They got him leaning, but he's safe.
So important. 3-3 ball game, and Mather looked like he was maybe trying to take that extra step. Yeah, there was a little flinch towards second base.
He has yet to attempt to steal this year.
But these are different times. 3-3 in the ninth.
Step off by Evan Meek. Meek got his first major league save in Los Angeles in that 2-0 win last Thursday. Got a win on the first road trip of the year in San Francisco. Oh, one coming to Freeze. Have to wait. And they're keeping a close eye on Mather. Mather representing the go-ahead run for the Cardinals.
There are occasions and times and different personalities and different personnel that come out of the respective bullpens that really haven't perfected their craft about holding runners on. There are some relievers that fit into that category. So if you don't have those qualities, just go ahead and throw over a bunch of times. Just make sure he's always aware that you're thinking about him. You don't have to be perfect, but just don't forget about that runner.
And now the 0-1. Now it's 0-2 and Meek ahead.
And one thing you look at in different relievers, now Evan Meek, when he decides to come to home plate, it's not real quick. I mean, he's okay to first base, but it looks like he loads up that right arm, and sometimes that will be the temptation for a runner to take off. But they have to make sure that he has made that commitment to throw the ball to home plate.
Pujols flying out to right. Holiday a base hit. Now they're running for him. And now Freeze, 0-2. Pirates getting a run on a wild pitch by Ryan Franklin, scoring Garrett Jones to tie the game. Pitch out. And you can afford that on an 0-2 pitch.
Yep.
Well, what are the Cardinals thinking here, now that the pitch out's been shown?
Well, they don't expect back-to-back pitch outs, but when you think about maybe not being particularly fast to home plate, but think about how fast the ball gets to home plate. So if he is slow, and I don't know how slow he is, but the ball can make up for that difference.
Strike 3.
He went away from the fastball again, and as he got Albert to pop up the right, he gets the strikeout on the slider. So the first 2 outs in the ninth, not with that 94, 95, 96 fastball. And that's probably not the best slider you're ever going to see, but he got it done.
It's like it just got back from the cleaners. It was a little hanger.
Yeah, upstairs a little bit, but hey, it works. And when you throw that hard, you don't have to fool them too much when you go to a different pitch, because they've got to be alert to that fastball.
2 down, top of the ninth. Yadier Molina facing Evan Meek.
And he has been a problem tonight.
Yes, he has 3 base hits, 2 runs batted in. And his brother Benji was a problem too in San Francisco. They're just problem children, those Molinas. Very good catchers, good hitters. There goes the runner, the pitch out, throw down, and they got him. No, called him safe. Looked like the throw was there in plenty of time, and here comes John Russell. Gary Cedarstrom called him safe.
Had to be the tag, if indeed he's safe. The throw was there.
Think of is that the glove was picked up and the tag went underneath it. John Russell stunned by whatever Gary Cedarstrom told him.
And John never said a word. He was just listening to the explanation. See what we can see here. He showed him the left hand and gave him the right. And it looked like the tag was going to be made on the hand that was taken away. Yep, that's exactly right. So you give the runner credit, and Aki went for the wrong hand. Wow, the Pirates have made some physical mistakes, some mental mistakes, and they're still in this baseball game. That's one of those old tricks runners do. Show you one hand, take it away, and make contact with the other one. It was done to perfection.
Now Molina, a chance with a man in scoring position. 2 balls and no strikes.
And the gods are angry. We hear the thunder now.
Yeah.
Or is that fireworks somewhere?
Oh no. I'm sure in your head it's thunder, Steve.
A lot of noise. Wow. I'm just trying to keep up with all.
Should have been the end
stuff.
of the inning right there. 2-0 to Yadier Molina. Now it's 3-0.
Okay. Ewan Moore gets the ball from Ryan Doman, a perfect throw. Just puts the glove down, and Cedarstrom was right on it. Ronnie knows it. I mean, the replay shows that crew chief Gary Cedarstrom right on the play.
Well, that's one for the tape, because the umpires would like to say, hey, yeah, we are right a lot of the time. 3-0 to Molina. Strike one. He was chasing after it. 3-0.
Well, got to figure he's going to get a fastball. Not a bad strategy. 2 outs. Baseball game on the line. You guess that you're going to get a fastball. You guess right. And the ball's in a good spot. You got a chance to get the go-ahead run here in the 9th inning.
Here comes the 3-1. To right field, and this one's going to get down. The Cardinals will score. Boy, what a shame. Not over by a long stretch. We're at the top of the 9th inning, but boy, oh boy, that's a run that shouldn't be. Molina continues to torment the Pirates tonight. 4 hits
and
3 runs batted in.
Oh, that's the fastball he thought he was going to get on the 3-0 count. He got it on the 3-1 count.
And now they will walk Colby Rasmus. And get to the pitcher spot. Nick Stavinoa, pinch hitter.
I'll tell you one thing. You've got to give Mr. Molina and Mr. Mather some credit. Molina doing the right things on that situation at third base. And Mather pulling one of those old-time tricks. I don't know how long he's been around. I don't think he's very old, but the old give and go with the left hand.
So 2 on and 2 out. And I think Tony Russo satisfied with what he's got, because Ryan Franklin's going to come up and hit instead of Stavinoa. And he wants Franklin to have a chance to close it.
To win it.
It would be his game. Pirates need to try to find a way to get a run, at least in the bottom of the 9th. They'll have Cedeno, the pitcher spot, and then Iwamura up. And the boom booms you hear in the background, fireworks going off at Station Square. And we can see the reflection of them on one of the buildings downtown, off the PNC building.
They're serious about it over there. It's been going on for a while.
There's the reflection of them.
Or is it Station Square or the Point? Well, it's over in that direction. Looks like the finale. Hope it's not the finale for this ball game.
Fireworks here tomorrow night after the game. Except they'll be generated out on the river. Runner takes off for third, and no throw. So Molina will swipe third base. With Andy LaRoche playing deep, he decided to take a liberty and go down there. First and third and 2 outs.
Once again, taking advantage of opportunities. You never know if it might pay off. Error, pass ball, wild pitch, balk. You take what's available.
Runner goes down to second and tries to get Domit to throw.
Yeah, the teaser.
And he will steal, so that is another stolen base this inning.
Yeah, the teaser being that if he can stop a little ways away from second getting a run down, it might allow the guy from third base to go ahead and score.
And Meek just concentrating here on getting Franklin out. Getting the Bucks to the plate.
And don't back off. I don't think it's going to be automatic. Don't think it's going to be easy just because it's the pitcher up there.
So Brian Domit wants to get it straight with Evan Meek. Very important pitch coming up here. And this inning should have been completed. But when this game is complete, we'll send you back to our studios. Pirates post-game, our closer, Kent Jacoby, ready to answer your questions and break down key plays. Pirates post-game next on FSN. Paul Alexander in the studio with Teak. But still a little ways to go in this one. 1-2. And there is the swinging strikeout of Ryan Franklin. And the Pirates now have to work to tie it up or win it in the bottom of the ninth. Holiday, and he ended up coming around as the pinch runner after stealing second base with the go-ahead run. 4-3 Cardinals, and the fans right now
they've not
want
given
to run.
Up. Yep, they've not given up.
Now the key play, Pirates called it right. They had the pitch out on with Mather stealing. Domit's throw was right on the money, and Aki Umura missed the tag.
Well, these fans have seen a lot of late game action, late game Pirate wins. No law against having another one.
Cedeno, who is 0 for 3, will try to start things off. Jeff Clement is in the on-deck circle.
He's guarding against the bunt at third base, up short on the grass.
And the pitch taken inside. Very bizarre 8th inning for the Pirates. LaRoche and McCutcheon each had singles to lead off. They both were erased at third base on the strangest double play you'll ever see. And he got caught in a rundown. McCutcheon went all the way to third. Strike. And then the tag was made on LaRoche by Molina. On McCutcheon by Molina. LaRoche thought it was him. He stepped off the bag, and Yadier tagged him too. Two and one. And then Garrett Jones, who reached on the fielder's choice, was at second base. Ryan Domit was hit by a pitch. Church was hit by a pitch to load him up. And then a wild pitch by Ryan Franklin, who had come in, allowed Jones to score the tying run at 3. That was the Pirates' 8th.
So it wasn't really a defensive clinic by the Cardinals either.
No. No. 2-1 to Cedeno from Franklin. That's 2-2. And the missed tag that leads to the go-ahead run. That's the key play. Zach Duke and Chris Carpenter each pitched very well tonight. Carpenter giving up 2 earned runs, striking out 8. Duke giving up no earned runs, striking out 7. Strike 3 called, and Cedeno a little bit upset and letting Field and Culberth hear about it. Not the way the Pirates needed to start the bottom of the 9th.
Ronnie thinking that ball was down underneath the strike zone. Franklin gets the call, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
Ronnie still obviously very unhappy. Jeff Clement, who has been really struggling. 164 is his average. Pirates say they did not bench him, just giving him a mental break, giving him a few days to get some mechanical issues worked out with his swing. And one thing they were working on with Jeff Clement was that his front foot, his right foot, they felt was a little bit too high in the air. They're trying to simplify his swing and his approach at the plate. 1-1. Now it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Clement. Rally caps are on. Pirates need one. And Clement paused and then took that one. 2-2. Uemura will hit next. Clement out of the University of Southern California. The same place where Mark McGuire went to school. Played baseball there. Well, they're hoping they can raise the flag. Pirates need to get a man on base. And Clement bangs a single, and the tying run is aboard. Well, that's got to feel really good for Jeff Clement. Ninth inning pinch hit single.
He was due. He delivers. The guy that's coming up has been due. Uemura has been scuffling. And you can piggyback this good at bat that Jeff Clement has produced.
Bobby Crosby will run for him. John Russell wanted to get Crosby on base. Runs a little bit better. Of course, Clement had the knee issues. That's why he doesn't catch anymore. So Crosby with fresh legs will represent that tying run with 1 out. If Aki Uemura trying to make amends for the missed tag here. 4-3 Cardinals, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. If you're thinking about Crosby running, he's 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts this year. But with the left-handed hitter up, Steve, and Pujols holding him on, there's some room on that right side if Aki can pull him.
Mm-hmm.
And Franklin pitches him away. One thing Uemura possesses is power to the opposite field.
And you've got kind of a favoring breeze heading out toward left field across from the right field line. Giving him a lot of left center field. Find that gap, he could run for quite a while.
One and one to Uemura.
And Franklin trying to stay away from the Pirates' second baseman.
Even Meek right now finds himself on the hook. Pirate bullpen, the only bullpen in the majors without a loss
so far.
And Pirate hitters trying to keep it that way in the bottom of the ninth.
Quick move by Mr. Franklin, and the last thing you want is for Bobby Crosby to get picked off.
Iwamora's first home run as a Bucco came on the 10th of April against Dan Herron of Arizona. Franklin ready. Now the 1-1. Iwamora goes out of play left side. Parents trying to figure out how to get that rally count inside out.
Hurry up.
He's just shaking it. That's one way to do it. Trying to pitch him away again, looks like. And Aki rolls one. It's going to stay fair.
Away. Wishful thinking. I wanted him to throw that ball right down the right field line. Franklin gets the job done, 1-3, but they have a runner in scoring position. Just a little chop. Kind of hoping for that because Franklin wound up almost having the runner in his path, but he throws it on the fair side of first base, as you're supposed to, as you're trained to do every day in spring training, PFP practice.
Well, tying run in scoring position, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. It's come down to Andy LaRoche. Andy with 2 hits in his last 2 at bats. There's Dan Bilesma, head coach of the Penguins. He's got his rally cap.
Yep. Good luck to the Pens the rest of the way. They can get rid of those Montreal Canadiens.
Got a nice shirt on, too. Getting a text, hey, you're on TV. LaRoche goes to right field. It's not going to be enough. Circling underneath it is Ludwig. And the Cardinals escape with a 1-run victory here in game 1 of this 3-game set. Some bizarre happenings here tonight.
All right, this one was up for grabs, Tim. As it turned out, after the starters left, they did a great job. The ball game turned over to the bullpen, and opportunities on both sides, and the last one belonged to the Cardinals. They cashed it in. The Pirates didn't. And that's how you come up on the bad end of a 4-3 ball game. Franklin over Meek. That's the decision.
Our next telecast of Pirates baseball tomorrow night from right here at PNC Park. The Pirates trying to get even with Tony La Russa's Cardinals. Jaime Garcia against Jeff Karstens. That's the pitching matchup. Our coverage begins with the Trib Total Media Pirates pregame show at 6:30. Then Greg Brown and Bob Walk bring you the call beginning at 7 right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. Our final score, Cardinals 4, Pirates 3. For Steve Blass and our entire crew, I'm Tim Neverett. Pirates postgame beginning right now.